What if I told you that one of the greatest composers in history was once a poor orphan who secretly copied music by candlelight? Here are 3 fascinating facts about Johann Sebastian Bach. Fact number 1. An orphan who copied music at night. Johann Sebastian Bach was born in 1685 in Eisenach, Germany, into a large family of musicians. Music surrounded him from birth. But his childhood was far from easy. When he was just 9 years old, both of his parents died. Orphaned, he went to live with his older brother, Johann Christoph, an organist. Bach was already deeply passionate about music. But there was a problem. His brother owned a precious book of advanced compositions and would not allow young Sebastian to use it. So what did Bach do? At night, while other children were asleep, he secretly took the manuscript and copied it by hand by candlelight, page after page, for months. From a very young age, he pushed himself to learn through tireless late-night study. Unlike most children of his time, Bach was able to continue serious studies thanks to his brother, who recognized his extraordinary talent and made the huge effort to pay for his schooling. From discipline, loss, and determination, a genius was slowly being formed. Fact number 2. He moved constantly to find work. Bach's career was anything but stable. He had to move again and again to find better positions. At just 18 years old, he became an organist in Arnstadt. Already known for his brilliant playing, he sometimes frustrated church leaders with music they found too complex. At just 20 years old, Bach walked 250 miles from Arnstadt to Lübeck to hear the great organist Dietrich Buxtehude and deepen his musical knowledge. The journey took him about 3 to 4 weeks on foot, and he stayed far longer than expected to study and absorb the master's art. He then moved to Mühlhausen, where he married his first wife, Maria Barbara, and focused on sacred music. But after a devastating fire damaged much of the town, he decided to move once again. In Weimar, he finally found some stability and stayed nearly 10 years. He became court musician and later concertmaster, composing powerful organ works and refining his mastery of counterpoint. But when he tried to leave for a better position, the Duke of Weimar took it as a personal offense. Bach was imprisoned for several weeks before being released. After that dramatic episode, he moved to Cothen to serve Prince Leopold. This was likely his favorite position. Because the prince preferred instrumental music, Bach focused on composing some of his greatest masterpieces: the Brandenburg Concertos, the cello suites, and the first book of the Well Tempered Clavier. Finally, in 1723, he settled in Leipzig as cantor and music director. It was his longest and most demanding job. He was responsible for church music and education, and had to compose a new cantata almost every week with an extraordinary level of discipline. Bach was not a glamorous traveling celebrity like Mozart would later become. He was a tireless craftsman, constantly working and writing. Fact number 3. A giant legacy and 20 children. Bach was married twice and had 20 children. 4 of his sons became respected composers: Wilhelm Friedmann, Carl Philipp Emanuel, Johann Christoph Friedrich, and Johann Christian Bach. Johann Christian Bach later influenced the young Mozart, and Carl Philipp Emanuel became one of the most important composers of the classical era. In total, Bach composed more than 1,100 works. His music is often described as mathematical because it is carefully built, with different melodies fitting together perfectly, like musical building blocks. And yet, at the same time, it is deeply emotional and spiritual. Interestingly, during his lifetime, Bach was better known as an organist than as a composer. After his death in 1750, at 65 years old, his music gradually faded from public attention. It wasn't until nearly 80 years later that Felix Mendelssohn revived Bach's St. Matthew Passion, bringing his genius back into the spotlight. From then on, generations of composers studied his work intensely and found inspiration in it, including Mozart, Beethoven, Chopin, Schumann, Brahms, Debussy, and even Stravinsky. Beethoven once said that Bach, whose name means brook in German, should really be called Ocean because of the depth of his genius. From orphan child to imprisoned musician to immortal master, That is Johann Sebastian Bach. Subscribe for more fascinating stories about the greatest composers in history.